I'm Elisa, the Scrappy Wife behind ScrappyWife.com, and today I have a Bible journal process video for you. I am working in Psalm 50, verse 14. This is the focus verse for Project Gratitude for the month of November. I have some of the images from the Project Gratitude printable set, the digital images that I have blown up that I'm planning on using on this page. And I also am planning on putting down a little bit of white gesso because I have a lot going on this side of the page, and I have some ideas for what I want to do over here. So I will list everything and link everything that I end up using down below, including the Project Gr8tful goodies. Otherwise, I'll put you guys on fast forward. Let's go. I'm going to start out with some white gesso on the back of this page, mostly to cover up some of the shadowing that I'm seeing from the page I did on the back. And I'm also planning on using some Distress Oxide spray, so that'll help protect the page on the back from having bleed through come from the spray. I'm trying to be really careful to make sure I don't cover up text. I can cover up some of the things at the bottom here because those are just references, but I don't want to cover up any of the Bible text with the white gesso. That has definitely happened to me before on accident when I thought it was clear gesso, and that's a rough start to a page for sure. I'm going to get warmed up with some of the Distress Oxide sprays on a separate piece of paper that I'll use for journaling later on. So I'm going to layer a few of the sprays, some different pinks, and then a little bit of brown. I kind of wish I'd gone less on the brown, but that's okay. It happens. It's just something that happens with a page from time to time and with Distress Oxide. So I let that dry. I'm going to add a little bit more pink. I'll dry it, and then what I end up deciding to do is actually go over the top of it with a wet paintbrush, just clear water, and it kind of blends the pieces or the different inks together to create a cool fall color and some interesting texture on the background. You can see how it's kind of mixing back and forth right there, and that'll be just a fun texture that I can cut out and then use as part of my journaling. I had wanted to add one more bit of stenciling that I thought would be cool in the background of my journaling piece with the spray, and it did turn out cool, but I was not patient and I did not let everything dry, and then I end up tearing the paper. So you can see I'm going to use my Cricut cutter here, and I just tore the paper because it was still wet. I wasn't patient enough. So anyway, I end up using some scraps, and I put together a piece that I can use for my journaling. Works out. I tore it again. See? Patience, everybody, is very important. So anyway, I do end up finding a piece and using it for the journaling. And then I just fussy cut some other pieces out, some other elements from the Project Gr8tful kit. And what I'm planning to do for this page as I kind of work and get again caught up with wet paper, what I'm planning to do for this page is kind of set an intention page. I like to do this a lot when I'm going to do an extended project like Project Gr8tful is, and I want to just set my intentions for the project. And for me, it's a little bit different because I already do a daily gratitude. I actually do it multiple times a day, in the morning and the evening, reflecting and focusing on gratitude. So that's already a habit or a practice or a discipline, however you want to call it. That's already something that I do. But what I was taking from the initial offering from Larissa when she was just beginning to talk about Project Gr8tful right in November is that gratitude is more than just writing a list. It's the way you're living your life. And what came out to me was that if other people don't recognize your gratitude, if it's not permeating your life in a way that is also shining light in other people's lives, then perhaps it's not the gratitude sacrifice that God is looking for. So that's just kind of the point that I was beginning for this devotional. And so what I wanted to do was write a prayer asking God to help me take gratitude to the next level, to help me be a light to others, to the people I encounter, and to help shine a light to make sure that I am living my life with gratitude, that I'm not just simply keeping a list in a journal or in a planner, but that my life is truly changed by gratitude. So the purpose of this page was to kind of set that intention at the beginning of this process so that I can come back and reflect on it and make sure that I'm not just going through the motions of completing another project, but that I'm really focused on where I wanted to go with my gratitude. Okay, you can see that I played a lot with the placement of everything on this page. It was throwing me off. I kind of should have printed these on clear sticker paper, but then of course you would have seen the colors coming through that I didn't want. So anyway, I'm going to layer these trees. They do still have some white from being printed out, but that's okay. I think it comes out really nicely in the end. I'm going to layer them in the background, being careful not to cover up the text. Again, I am in Psalm 50 verse 14 where it says, "Sacrifice thank offerings to God, fulfill your vows to the Most High." And what I really wanted was the journaling to be the center of this page. So you can see I have plenty of room right there. I'm going to pull out some washi tape. I think this is from Amazon. I received it as a swap with some of the members of the Kelly Bangs creative team. So I was super excited to have this beautiful grid washi, but I'll look and see if I can find it on Amazon. But super pretty with the orange, adding a little bit of layering here. You can see that I distressed the edges of the paper that I mounted the journaling paper on, so it adds a little bit of texture in that way. So adding that, and then my little girl here was kind of going to be acknowledging or pointing to the prayer that I plan to write up at the top. So I'll add this right here and then trim off the part that hangs over the edge. I kind of wanted her whole leg, but it didn't work. So it's going to have to be off screen. Okay. And then right here, I decide I want this heart up in the corner, but I don't want the white edge. So I will trim that off. What I want is to bring in a little bit more of that burnt red color. So I'll trim this out and then put the heart on that same scrapbook paper that the journaling paper is mounted on or matted on, and then pop the heart up just a little bit to add some extra interest and texture to the page. And I really am loving the double-sided tape that I picked up a few weeks ago at the Dollar Tree. If you haven't been to your Dollar Tree recently, they have some great deals that you can use for journaling. And the double-sided tape, when I'm journaling in this spiral-bound Bible, is awesome because it's this foam tape that pops it up. You can add a little bit of bulk to these spiral bound Bibles, and it's fun to play with, and it's not going to break the spine because it's bound in a different way. So that works really nicely. So I like using it every now and then to pop up some of the elements. I'll twist a little string just to add some fun messiness behind the heart, and then add a title and journaling to this page. The prayer that I ended up writing out reads like this. It says, "Dear Lord, my heart is full of gratitude, but I know there are times that I don't show it. Over the next month, my prayer is that my gratitude would overflow and that you would show me how I can be a positive light to all those around me. In your Son's holy name I pray. Amen." And that is going to be it for this journaling page. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider hitting that subscribe button as well as the bell notification button. I will link all of the supplies down below, so be sure to check those out if you're interested. I want to give a huge shout out to my Scrappy YouTube members. Thank you so much for all of your support. If you want to find out about some of the perks of Scrappy YouTube membership, then make sure to click the join button or check the link in the description box below. All right, I hope that you have a fabulous day, and as always, keep it creative.